This video will cover some of the issues that come up for people who are involved in accidents with Uber and Lyft drivers. Importantly, Uber and Lyft don't want to pay for your injuries, but our experienced and proven lawyers will make them. The first question we usually get is whether you can sue if you're injured in a rideshare accident caused by a careless Uber or Lyft driver in Dallas. Yes, you can. The next question is whether you have a realistic chance of winning. Collecting compensation for your injuries and damages from Uber and Lyft is a complicated mess. Keep in mind that it makes financial sense for them to make the process confusing because it means they pay less. The first complication is that Uber and Lyft drivers are not employees. They are independent contractors. Uber and Lyft use this status to their advantage. For example, in 2013, an Uber driver in San Francisco hit and killed 6-year-old Sophia Liu. Though using the Uber app when the unfortunate rideshare accident happened, the driver was technically between fares and Uber tried to deny the claim. Uber ended up settling the suit for an undisclosed amount about 6 months later once the Liu family found a good lawyer. Another complication with accidents involving Uber and Lyft drivers is that their vehicles aren't considered commercial vehicles. Their drivers don't get a livery license like traditional taxi drivers do. However, since Uber and Lyft drivers are using their personal cars for work, their personal insurance policies will also try to deny paying for accidents that occur. Does this mean Uber and Lyft drivers don't really have insurance? They do, but the challenge is getting it to pay. You may have read about Uber and Lyft's $1 million insurance policy they give to all of their drivers. But whether that policy applies depends on the details of the accident. Here's some clarification. If an Uber driver is driving for personal reasons, but not to pick up passengers, he or she is covered by their personal policy. Texas state law and their individual policy limits apply. Another scenario is where an Uber driver makes themselves available to pick up passengers, but they're not carrying a passenger during the crash. In this case, again, the driver's policy and Texas state law apply. However, Uber and Lyft gives all its drivers additional liability coverage of $50,000 per injury, up to $100,000 total, and up to $25,000 in property damage. But the driver must request it, and it only takes effect if the driver's personal policy doesn't cover all damages. Finally, assume the Uber driver is carrying a passenger they are transporting as a contracted ride-sharing service or is en route to pick up a passenger. In this case, Uber's $1 million liability policy covers the driver and the passenger. Since Uber claims their drivers are not employees, they have successfully avoided responsibility even if their driver is drunk, high, or distracted. They even require their drivers to sign an agreement stating that they will take on all responsibility when sued by a passenger or pedestrian and defend the rideshare company from any liability. In the end, when you get hurt by a careless Uber or Lyft driver, everyone points their finger at the other guy. No one wants to take responsibility, and they hope you just go away. When you hire Mullen Mullen to fight the rideshare companies, your case will receive the justice it deserves. If you've been injured in a rideshare-related accident, call Mullen Mullen right away.